Welcome, everyone. It is that time again. It's time for another Total Image Woman of the Week. I have a wonderful guest. Don't I always have wonderful guests? But this guest, it was really fun the way we met. So I know we're about to go into a holiday weekend. We've got winter coming upon us, those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. If you find that we've heard about what's going on in the White House with COVID, if you're finding that your stress levels are going up, that you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling a little depressed, whatever might be going on, you're going to love my guest today. So Laurnie Wilson is just truly delightful. You're going to love her. We met when she asked me to do a virtual color analysis for her. And as we were talking, because when I do something virtually, I always meet with people ahead of time. So we were chatting on Zoom, and I just had this sense immediately I felt at ease in her presence. There was just such a warmth and kindness about her. And so I said, well, what do you do? And it turns out that she teaches yoga, but she also does hypnosis. She's a hypnotherapist. And I thought, oh my goodness, the timing is so perfect for this, because this is a tool that can help so many of us when we are feeling overwhelmed by, forget all the things I just mentioned. We've got an election coming up that's probably driving everybody totally, whatever side of you're on, totally crazy. So we're going to debunk some myths about hypnosis. We're going to find out what can it really do for you. And we're even Laurnie is going to walk us through a short hypnosis that we can all just do here together after we've debunked all the myths and done all of that stuff. So I want you to have the same experience that I had upon meeting Laurnie. So Laurnie, I want to welcome you here today. I'm so excited to talk with you.
Oh my gosh, Ginger, thank you so much. That was such a beautiful intro. I'm so excited to be here.
It's all true, every bit of it, really. I asked you to be a Total Image Woman of the Week on the Facebook Live the first time we met.
Yeah.
I've done that with no one else have I done this with, nobody else. And so it was just because I go with my gut, and I just felt there was a connection. I felt that you really have something incredibly valuable to offer. And so please tell us a little bit, how did you get where you are now? Like, what led you to this place?
Yeah, so I'm so excited to talk about this, because I feel like, as you mentioned, there's so many maybe negative associations or assumptions about hypnotherapy. And so let me tell you, I'll start back at the beginning with me. Last year, I was going through a really big upheaval in my life. And I had been working as a freelance writer before that, primarily, and also teaching yoga, and just, going along with my life as it was. And last year, a lot of things came to the surface, and I had to look at everything I was doing and say, is this what I need to be doing? Is this what I enjoy doing? And ultimately, coming back to some core desires, like, is this helping people? Is this helping to change the world? Is this making a difference and having a ripple effect? Because those are things that really matter. And I felt that, to me at least. And I felt that in the yoga that I was teaching. I felt that that was helpful. But I also have a background in Ayurveda. I don't know if I mentioned that in our conversation as well. But so I've always been drawn to these holistic ways of self-care and these holistic ways of understanding our bodies and the world that we're in. And whenever I was trying to help people, I felt like there was a wall that would come up at a certain point where, even though people really wanted to make a change or wanted to transform, there was something that was holding them back. I could tell people with Ayurveda, drink lemon water in the morning. And no matter how much they wanted to do that, there was something that maybe they would do it for 2 weeks and then be done. And tell people, oh, like, you should do yoga. And they would say, oh, well, when I'm flexible, I'll do it, or something like that. Like, there was always something that was holding them back. And so I kind of felt like I wasn't doing a good job. I felt like I wasn't having the impact that I really wanted to. And last summer, I came across a guided hypnosis recording, and I listened to it. I thought it was cool, but honestly, then I forgot about it. I went on with my life. I was like going to workshops, went to a silent meditation retreat. I was doing all these things to really invest in me and get clear on my priorities and my values and what I wanted the focus to be, And so While I was on the silent meditation retreat, I actually remembered the guided hypnosis recording. I don't know what happens on a silent meditation retreat. A lot happens and things come to the surface that maybe you forgot about. And that was one of those things. And I remembered it, was like, oh, I bet my mom would really like that. And so it worked out because after the retreat, I was going home to see my mom. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just show her this. And so I did. She liked it. And afterwards, I looked at her and I was like, I bet I could do that. Like something about it just felt really good. And she was like, I bet you could too, because she's a great mom and very supportive. And so that night I was looking up the woman who made that recording. Her name's Grace Smith, and she has a school called the Grace Space Hypnotherapy School. And that very night that I was looking up the school, she was having a webinar about the training. And I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Synchronicity, yeah.
Exactly. And so I signed up for the training. And then I got busy doing something and I totally forgot. I didn't go. And so, but yeah, plot twist. So the next day, her team reached out and reminded me. They were like, hey, we didn't see you at the webinar last night. We're having one more today if you are available. And I was like, okay, I really need to do this. So I was listening to her talk about during the webinar about hypnosis and what it can do. And I was like, maybe this is what's been missing. Like getting into the subconscious is actually where everything is. We can do so much on the conscious level, but everything that she was saying about what happens in the subconscious, where our beliefs and our emotions and our memories, all of that lives, like you could do amazing work on the conscious level, and that's only 10% of the brain. The 90% is the subconscious. So how much change and lasting transformation are you going to make? And so I was so sold. I was completely down to do this. And I basically jumped in immediately. I was like, this feels like a way to help people long term. And it's also something that while going to a hypnotherapist can be really useful, you could learn self-hypnosis and do that on your own. And then you have a tool that you can do the rest of your life. And that was also really important to me. Yeah, because I think it's great to have practitioners that we go to. And I think that as individuals, we need to have the tools ourselves to kind of take out the hierarchy of going to someone to get some sort of healing and realize that you have that power inside of you and that you can tap into that whenever you want. And so I embarked on this journey, and it's been almost a year since I started the program. I finished everything a couple weeks ago, and it's just been amazing to see what people are able to uncover and transform and move through when they see themselves on a subconscious level. And I just feel really honored that I'm able to do this, and very grateful that I trusted myself to jump into something and just trust. The way that you were saying, you just trusted that, we should have this conversation. I was just trusting like this was an absolute yes. And there was no way I could not do it.
Yes. And they always say that when the student is ready, the teacher will come.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly that's what happened for you. And I know you've been working with people all along through your training as well. And I think what you said is really powerful, that we all have the ability to to heal ourselves when we have the tools that we need. And when so much is stuck in the unconscious level, we can sometimes feel like we're batting our head against a brick wall when we're just trying to force our way through action and what's available to us on the conscious level. And until we get into that, we can remain stuck even though we feel like we're doing all these things and they're not having an effect. And I would think that with the hypnosis too, that you can teach them how to work on this on their own, but then they can touch back with you as they need to. Like, I'm stuck over here. I'm stuck over here. I mean, I find that with the work that I do in image consulting is that I can get people to a level where they're happy. And then as they move along, they'll go, oh, but okay, now what about this? Yeah. And then we need to come back and okay, let's go to the next step with all of it. So I would think that would be very similar for you with the hypnosis.
Absolutely. I found, I've been working with people probably for the past 6 months, and I found that oftentimes there's a lot to clean up in the beginning in order to go in and say, okay, what's there? And then as people get the hang of it, as they start their self-hypnosis practice, they can continue along until, like you said, they hit something that's like, oh, this is big. Maybe I want some extra support. And then, you can touch base again and keep going.
So before we dive into kind of like how it works and doing a little sample hypnosis,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit of like, so what are, I mean, we all know what the myths are around hypnosis, but tell us a little bit about what hypnosis is not, even
Mhm.
though there's a lot, I think in movies and TV and all that, sometimes it's portrayed as something that's sort of hokey and
Mhm.
sometimes dangerous.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what those myths are and why they aren't true.
Yeah. So, first thing, hypnosis is not sleep. And granted, it's kind of a misnomer because Hypnos was the Greek god of sleep. And so it's understandable why that might be understood to be that way. But hypnosis is not sleep. It actually takes place on the brainwave level right above sleep. So we have four brainwave levels: beta, which is where we are now, talking engaged; alpha, if you were to daydream about something; and then theta, which is where hypnosis takes place; and then delta, which is sleep. And so you're awake the entire time and you're able to answer questions. I kind of like to describe it as like a combination between a deeply relaxing meditation and a conversation with your eyes closed. So,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. You are, it's really like you are leading that journey. And that kind of leads to another myth, is that there's a myth that you kind of give up control and that you're not in control. And that's actually the farthest thing from the truth. The problem that we see a lot with like stage hypnosis, or people quacking like a duck or something like that, is that you can only accept the suggestions that you want. And so in a stage hypnosis, the people who are going to volunteer to go up on stage are volunteering to make themselves look silly. Like they know what they're getting into, and so they're going to accept that suggestion. So the same thing goes in a hypnotherapy session. You are only going to accept the suggestions that you want to. So you're in control. You are in the driver's seat and you're really leading the session. A hypnotherapist is just there as a guide. Like, yes, I can help you get to a deeply relaxed place so that you can get into theta. But then once you're there, I'm asking you questions. What's happening next? What are you experiencing? Like, tell me what you're doing. And so it's kind of like, if you can imagine, almost like a visualization, but you really feel yourself being in there. And so it's all up to the client, and the power is really in the client's hands in order to achieve the resolution that they want and get the results and really make those changes for themselves. So you're in control. You won't get stuck in hypnosis either. That's another big
yeah,
myth.
right. No clapping to, stop the duck or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like if the fire alarm went off and you had to leave the building, you would absolutely get up and walk out. Like, we go in and out of the theta brainwave state naturally, and actually kids up till the age of 7 are in theta all the time, which is why kids are like little sponges, because they're storing all of this and they're learning how to be safe in the world. And a lot of what we see as adults is that we're still running a program that we developed when we were 4 years old, because that's what kept us safe. And what kept us safe when we were 4 may have been a survival technique that is no longer relevant or is no longer helpful for where we are as an adult. And it makes me a little bit emotional to talk about it, but it's a really amazing thing to realize, like, yes, maybe that served you at a certain time, and also it may not serve you now, and you get to choose what programs you're running inside of yourself.
Right. So I would think, first of all, that it's really important to work with somebody who you feel comfortable with and that you trust.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that would be critical, so that you don't have things kind of holding you back and you can really get fully into the experience.
Yeah.
Also, when you do a session with somebody, can people get results from one session, or is it like you need 10, or I don't know, like what is the average with that? How does it
Yeah.
work?
I want to turn on my light for a second because I think it just got really dark over here. I will also, I don't know, hopefully that helps.
It helps a little bit. But
Okay,
we can see you, don't worry.
great.
It's all
So it really varies depending on the individual, depending on the topic that you're addressing, depending on so many factors. I would say that I would recommend starting with like 3 sessions,
yeah.
and kind of that is the minimum, just because we want to make sure that you are integrating and processing, and also then creating that self-hypnosis home practice on your own as well, in order to set yourself up for success long term. While I'm sure it is possible to get some sort of shift after one session, I would never want to say, you can't believe, like, quit smoking in one session. Like, that's, never going to say that. Those are kind of the scammy things you want to watch out for. But it is, and the reason is that the brain is amazing and very elastic, but it does take you do have to rewrite those programs, you know? And so you've been walking down one path, telling your brain one thing for however many years you've been alive. And now with hypnosis and with hypnotherapy, we're going to write a new path. We're going to carve a new direction to go in. So, you know, the brain, it's going to want to go down what it's been going down. And we have to now create those grooves to go in a new direction.
Right, right. That makes perfect sense. And you know what you said, I mean, any of us, if we think about, well, I guess it's not true for everything, but even what I do in my life, I would never say to somebody, we're going to, in you know, a 2-hour session, we are going to, your wardrobe's going to be perfect. You're going to know exactly what to wear. I mean, there's just no way that is going to happen. But we can make inroads into that. And then every session we can build on that. So it sounds like it may be, and I have some people who I can be in their closet for, you know, 2 or 3 hours and we've made great progress. There are other people, it can take a month because they've got 4 closets and, you know, it's just a billion pairs of shoes and, you know, that kind of thing. So I would think it's the same thing. It's like targeting an issue and, you know, 3 sessions, you know, will get you to a certain point. And then if people have more stuff they want to work on, they can come back and work with you, and, or you can teach them how to be able to do it on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we find right now is that everyone wants a really quick fix.
Oh, yeah.
And they want, you know, that like snap your fingers and we're done. And just if we are actually if we actually want to take care of ourselves and make any sort of change, it's not going to happen in, like you said, 2 hours. Like anything in our life, we have to keep at it. We have to commit to it. And this is just another one of those things.
Exactly, exactly. So Laurnie, tell us your website and tell us, I know you have a free gift on there that people can get, which is truly amazing. So tell us a little bit about that and then we'll get into doing a little sample hypnosis.
Yeah, so my website is laurniewilson.com, Laurnie, Wilson.com. And then I offer on there a free guided hypnosis for navigating uncertainty, which hopefully will help during these really.
I can't imagine why anybody would need that.
Pretty irrelevant, I know.
Oh my God, no, it's like kind of perfect.
Yeah.
And and how long is the hypnosis that you have in that free gift?
You know, I think it's about 20 minutes.
Okay, great.
And yeah.
Bit of an idea, and that's something they can listen to over and over and over, right?
Exactly. Right. And the more you do it, the better it gets. That's the thing. The more you go into hypnosis, the deeper you go, the better you'll feel. So it really is like, just keep coming back to it and you'll notice a lot of shifts.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so for people who are listening live and people who are watching the replay, would you walk us through a short hypnosis?
Yes, yeah. So we'll do a little snippet of what I would teach as part of a self-hypnosis practice. So that starting today, if you wanted to just do this little snippet, you could start doing that. And I would say to you, the first thing I like to ask when we're going into this is, you know, to notice what your starting stress level is on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 would be a full-blown panic attack, and 0 is the most relaxed that you could ever be. Just notice where that is. If you have like something to write with, you could just jot it down next to you. And yes, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes and just take a couple of nice deep breaths in and out. And already beginning to relax both mind and body. That's right. Just relaxing the very top of your head. And relaxing down into all the features of your face, the eyes, and the jaw, letting the jaw hang loose and slack. And as the jaw begins to hang loose and slack, it's a reminder for the rest of the body that it's safe to relax. And just continue to send that relaxation down into your neck and your shoulders, allowing any of the burdens you've been carrying from this week to just float right off of your shoulders, vaporizing and drifting away from you as you relax and release, all the way down the arms and out through the bottoms of your fingertips. And just continue to relax and release into the chest, the belly, the torso, breathing easily in and out, knowing that with each and every breath you take, you'll relax and release even deeper. And that's right. Just continuing to relax and release down into the hips and the thighs, allowing all the muscles of your legs to relax and release. As you send that relaxation all the way down the legs and out through the bottoms of your feet. Okay. Now imagine a color you love forming at the top of your head. And just see that color you love flowing in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out through the bottoms of your feet, and down into the center of the earth, relaxing and releasing you even deeper. That's right. Now, in just a moment, I'll say a series of very true and very powerful statements that will take you even deeper. I'll say them first, and then you'll repeat them 3 times silently inside of your mind. I am safe. I am calm. I choose to be here. Beginning when you're ready. Very, very good. That color you love flowing in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, out through the bottoms of your feet, and down into the center of the earth, relaxing and releasing you even deeper and deeper down. Now see, feel, and experience yourself having a wonderful rest of your day. See, feel, and experience yourself moving through the rest of your day and maybe even this weekend, feeling really at ease, feeling supported, feeling joyful, feeling whatever it is that you'd like for yourself today and this weekend. See, feel, and experience that now, making it very, very real. Very, very good. And imagining that color you love flowing in through the top of your head one more time, all the way through your body, out through the bottoms of your feet, and down into the center of the earth, sealing in all of this wonderful transformation. And then, whenever you're ready, opening your eyes and just noticing your new number on that scale where 0 is the most relaxed that you could be.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
Goodness, you have a very easy voice to listen to.
Thank you.
Very soothing and very calming, and for those of us who have like very active constant mind going all the time. It's nice to be able to give that a little rest. And I find that, or I found that this was an easy way. I really did feel like I kind of let things go. So nice, very nice. Thank you so much. So that's just a taste.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We got so much more that we can do.
Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. Wow. So people can get a hold of you through your website.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great.
Yeah, LaurnieWilson.com. You can find me there. I have a newsletter that when you sign up for the freebie, you'll be subscribed to my newsletter where I have, a weekly update on what's going on, some thoughts about just self-improvement in a really holistic perspective. And I also have a YouTube channel where I talk about things similar. So.
And it's your name again. People can find you there.
Yep.
That makes it very easy. And I see Karen is watching and she's enjoying this. So that's awesome. So is there anything else that I think we've talked about a lot of things. Is there anything else that you want to share with us that maybe we haven't touched on that would be helpful to people to know?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is to find whatever works for you in terms of, like you said, kind of quieting that very active mind. Maybe it is hypnosis, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's breath work. There are so many amazing modalities, and while I am obviously very biased towards hypnotherapy and yoga as well, but there's so many things, and I think what's most important right now, the one thing I think everyone could do is find something that works. And there's so many resources, and we just need these tools so much now because life is getting so crazy, and maybe it always was, but we're really seeing it now. So we need all the resources we can to feel better and to feel like ourselves.
And I think the way to find that, Carol is also watching and finding it fascinating, which I love. I think what's really important is that there are a lot of tools out there, and I think you have an experience of them to find out, like, is this the right one? And otherwise we're just kind of guessing.
Right.
So I encourage people to get in touch with you, and why not find out if this is a good modality for them. Can it help with things like healing, physical healing, as well as just sort of calming the mind and moving through some of the subconscious things? Can it help with healing as well? Yeah,
so that's a great question. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Hypnotherapy can be used for basically anything, which makes it feels almost like, is that possible? But yes, it can be used as pain management is a really popular topic within hypnotherapy. There is hypnobirthing. So some women will practice with their own hypnotherapy process to prepare for, giving birth. There is a lot of, in addition to the less tangible things of stilling the mind and feeling better, you can overcome, things that are limiting beliefs for you. If you, feel like you're not good enough or you have low self-esteem. Not common these days, but, those things are great for hypnotherapy. And sometimes you're able to see yourself in a way that you never realized and say, oh, like this thing that was holding me back, like I thought it was keeping me safe, and actually it's not anymore. So I can release it, and I'm okay to do that now. So yeah, from pain management to giving birth to self-confidence, all of those things are great topics for hypnotherapy.
Wow, I love it. This is so exciting. This is so fabulous. Thank you, Laurnie, so much for being my guest here today, for being the Total Image Woman of the Week. And I hope that you and everyone watching has a fabulous, healthy, safe, happy, restful weekend. And I will make sure to put Laurnie's website address in the comments, so you'll see it there, easy to find, although you can see her name right here, pretty easy to figure out, but I'll make it a one-click sort of thing. And I encourage you to check out what she has to offer, and I hope you all have a really magnificent weekend. And I will see you again here next week for another Total Image Woman of the Week. So thank you, Laurnie.
Thank you so much, Ginger. It was an honor.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Karen and Carol, for watching too.
Thank you.